Imagine there are two students. Let's call them John and Jesse. John memorizes things by repeating them over and over and over. Osmosis is the diffusion of water. Osmosis is the diffusion of water. Osmosis is the diffusion of water. Osmosis is the. You get the picture. However, Jessie memorizes things by using a special skill she has learned called the 5 pillars of memory. Jessie applies association by recognizing that osmosis is also a clothes brand that she likes. She then applies imagery by imagining a long red fuse being lit and being held under a bright green osmosis t-shirt, which sets it alight. Water from a big water jug is then poured all over the t-shirt, which diffuses the fire. Jessie uses this story she created to remember that osmosis is a diffusion of water. It's very easy for Jessie to recall this strange story. Jessie spent a little bit of time learning how to apply this memory strategy and now is able to memorize 10 new words and their meanings in about 15 minutes. Pretty cool, huh? But the best thing is that she now knows how to apply this skill whenever she needs to learn some new words and their definitions. Now, let's check back in with John to see how he's going. Osmosis is a diffusion of water. Osmosis is a diffusion of water. Osmosis is a face palm. So what memory skills do you have that helps you improve your memory? Do you use memory techniques to help you remember things easily? Or are you like John and prefer to just repeat what you want to learn over and over? Double face palm. Your tip for today is this. Instead of just repeating words, formulas, or sentences to yourself over and over and hoping like crazy that you remember something, take the time now to learn how your memory recall works and save yourself hundreds of hours of wasted study time. To help you get started with this, let's look at the 5 pillars of memory together. Pillar 1, association. Our memory recalls experiences and information far better when they are associated with something that is already familiar to us. You will often hear people say, "I remember that event well because that was the same day that such and such happened." When we associate and group things together, our mind finds it far easier to store and recall memories. Pillar 2, imagery. Your memory recalls events and experiences as images and pictures. It's like you have a camera in your head ready to snap up the next big event. So, if you want to recall lots of information, you must draw an image or make a mental picture of what you want to remember. Here's a bonus pro tip. We remember moving images better, so when you imagine a picture, make sure it's moving or doing an action of some sort. Pillar 3, repetition. If you don't ride a bicycle for 10 years, you will at first appear pretty awkward and possibly even fall off. If you don't use your online banking for a month, you may struggle to recall the password. So if you want to remember something, you must consistently engage in recalling it. Otherwise, you can kiss it goodbye. Pillar 4, emotion. When an experience is emotional, intense, or strange, you are far more likely to recall it. Most people can recall where they were when important world events occurred, but how many people can recall where they were 2 days later? Emotion, intensity, or weirdness will make your memories far more vivid. Pillar 5, time. As time passes by, our memories fade, but that's because we unconsciously allow it to happen. You can probably remember what you did yesterday, but you will find it much harder to recall what you did on this day 1 year ago. If you allow time to pass by and don't use repetition, emotion, association, or imagery, the memory will very quickly become a blur. There are heaps of great memory techniques you can learn, and we can take you through all of them. But the best thing is that when you take the time to learn a technique, it makes everything you will ever have to learn way easier. So save yourself hundreds of hours of wasted time and effort by learning what works, and start applying it to your studies today.